I'm sorry. My mic was off. I apologize. Mr. Takita, can you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dents?
Here.
Ms. Mullen?
Here.
Mr. Palmer?
Here.
All right, thank you. Before we get started, we're going to have a quick presentation from Waste Management. I know at the last meeting, there was a lot of folks here upset with Waste Management and the way things started to roll out. But I want to say that since then, that they've been keeping us informed with everything they've been doing, every mailing. They've accommodated everyone that's called with an issue. When there was some confusion over who can get what can, they addressed them right away. So, you know, right now, things have been moving very smoothly on their end. So, but they're going to have a presentation. A brief one.
Very brief. Good evening. Thank you very much for letting us stop by again tonight. Patty Barthel, Waste Management, Public Affairs. We are very happy, too, that things have kind of calmed down a little bit. All change is difficult for us as well as for the residents. But looking at the people who are actually ordering additional carts or calling in for smaller carts, they're really getting involved in the process and taking it seriously. And so I was very happy to see that. We were here last time at the last board meeting was the day that our change of schedule had taken effect. That has been rolled out very well, too, over the last few weeks. Everybody's kind of gotten on board with what their new schedule is. Not everybody got changed. Maybe about a third had their recycle day change and so forth. Again, I want to thank the township, but especially Rose. She's been phenomenal with helping getting things on the website. So as soon as something would either go out in the mail, whether it was a letter to residents or a postcard, I would send a copy to her, and she'd have it up before I'm sure the mail ever got delivered. So that's been a huge help. Excuse me. I don't know if everybody pays attention to Levittown now. We did the same thing again since the last time when we announced that the carts were going to be delivered, just to keep everybody in the loop. That's gone very well, also seeming to get the word out in various places. So going forward, the next benchmark, if you will, is the day after Memorial Day. That's when our cart delivery people will start delivering carts to the curb. That process can take a week to 2 weeks, so don't panic. If you don't get your cart within the first week, there's a lot of roads, there's a lot of people. 18,000 carts are a lot to deliver individually. Residents did not have to decide already what size they want. We ask that when you get your cart, if you get the 96, if you then believe you need something smaller because you have issues with the size, just call customer service. We will then come out and change them out after the fact. Again, carts are not expected to be used until the end of June. So there's a whole month from when the carts arrive and then to when they're used for us to be able to come out, exchange them, so you don't have to start putting your trash in them right away because we're not using the automated trucks until June 28th. That's when that new system will begin. If anybody has any questions, there's one more mailer going out. That just went to the printer yesterday. That is an informational brochure, talks about what you can recycle, what you can't recycle, how to manage your carts, what can go in, what can't go in, what do you do with household hazardous waste, and a variety of just basic information. Very similar to what you have on the website now, but it's going directly to the home, so they can clip it on the fridge. If they have a question, there's important phone numbers in there. And again, hopefully we'll answer any questions that we haven't already done with either the FAQs or the mailings. So again, any questions a resident has, our customer service number is 1-800-869-5566. Whether you have a question in general or whether you need to change your cart or need an extra cart. We do have some that have asked for secondary carts, bigger households, and that's fine. We're very happy to deliver those as well. Does the board have any questions tonight?
No, just thank you.
Thank you.
I have two questions for you. A little bit off the path. The first one is, I had a couple of residents come up and say, is there a drop-off if they want to deliver rubbish or whatever, like a couch, instead of putting it at their curb? Can they drive to the landfill and drop it off someplace at the landfill?
Come up, Bobby.
Hey, John, yeah, there's a convenience center located at the landfill by the Scale House location, located on 1400 Bordentown Road. So it's kind of drop-offs, and they have to check in at the scale.
And what do they do to show their ID?
They have to show their ID, yep.
Okay, thank you. And as far as the new containers, I know you're rolling them out, but can people use them now, or do they have to wait for those trucks to come?
You can use them now, but I would say if you're not sure if you need something much smaller, I would say don't put trash in that cart because we may pick that up and then take it to somebody else who needs a second cart. But they can start using them now, but they must use them begin June the 28th. That's when we'll be using the new trucks.
Thank you.
We can still offload the toters the way they are. It's a little bit, there's a little bit different routine that our guys will go through. But they definitely should start using them the 28th. If some do before then, that's fine.
Thank
And
you.
make sure they bag their trash. It should never be loose in the cart. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
One question, please. When do you expect these carts to be completely delivered?
Within 2 weeks. So they'll start the day after Memorial Day, and by the end of the month.
The question was, when do you expect the carts to be completely delivered? And she said they'll probably 2 weeks. They'll begin the day after Memorial Day, and it would probably take up to 2 weeks before everybody has one.
We will not deliver on a Sunday. There are 3 crews going out throughout the township, so the carts will be coming in on trucks, reloaded into smaller vehicles to do the hand deliveries. So at the most, it would be 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, one other question, if I might. Just if...
Can you
if you're not
please
gonna be
identify
home or you're-
yourself?
Michael Mullen, 120 Amelia Drive, Levittown, longtime resident. If we're not going to be home, they're just going to dump in my front yard?
Yeah,
Okay,
I would assume.
yeah, all right.
leaving them at the curb.
Hopefully they'll be there when we get back then, right? All right.
All right. Thank you very much. So that takes us to item 1. We didn't have an executive session tonight. Is there another one to report on?
We did. The board held an executive session on May 20th to discuss a personnel matter.
All right. That takes us to public comment. This is not, I assume this was a sign-in sheet. Did you want to make public comment? Joycel? Are you making public comment? No, I'm okay. Tony Batiste.
Good evening. The salary for the tax collector, it shows online as $25,000. And what I want to know, is that just salary, or is that other things like postage, billings? What?
I don't understand the question.
We don't pay her salary.
We don't pay her salary.
Who does?
She
She's
gets
paid by-
taxes and,
She's paid per bill by the school district, the county, and the township. She is paid for tax certifications from taxpayers who are coming in to sell their homes or to refinance. She's not paid out of township tax dollars.
Okay, then online was incorrect. Okay, that takes care of that.
No, it's probably indicating the money that's paid to her, not as a salary, but what she bills us for sending out the tax bills.
all right.
Okay, okay. Along the lines of tax collector, though, if the current tax collector would resign, lose in the upcoming race, retire, what happens to the tax records and the tax systems that she uses?
They're supposed to be transferred to her successor.
And we have that in writing?
That's state law.
State law, okay, just asking. It was asked online. I figured, well, let me ask, I don't know. We are no longer getting info on the safety of our township. The chiefs of police used to give us full reports on township safety at these meetings, but that no longer happens. And perhaps because the meetings got too long, I don't know. But there are important things that seniors would like to know, that, you know, that we're safe in our homes, that the area surrounding us has been safe, that going to the pharmacies and grocery stores is safe, maybe at night, maybe not. If we have guests and they're staying at hotels in the area, we want to know that they're safe. And we don't know that because we don't see any of the reports anymore. And the newspapers are getting to be a thing of the past. And they don't even do much on local issues unless we're Philadelphia. So if it would be nice if we could know how safe our township is. And if you don't want to do it at a meeting and take the time, could it be a report that's on the website in a place that we can actually find it? Or even as part of the agenda, but not to have the physical report here, but just like we have the bills? Something along that line. So just asking about that. And one other thing, the Business Route 1 section that is from the light at Tyburn to Wawa, it was just redone. And I want to know why it was redone and who paid for it.
It's a state road.
The state ran all new utilities there on the side, and then they did a refurb and patch, and they restriped the line, so it's back to it's better than it was.
Okay, no, I was just curious why it was done and why it was all a nice road, all torn up. Oh, one other thing.
Progress.
The potholes that are, when you turn off of North Olds Boulevard into the little road that goes back to where our current offices are for the township, there's a lot of potholes in there.
In the driveway?
Yeah, could we get it fixed?
You mean the driveway into the,
Yeah, when you turn off of North Olds,
yeah.
before you get to Business Route 1, that road that goes down to the Social Security building,
The driveway, like, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
it's got potholes.
Okay, thank you. Watermelon Man.
Hello. Watermelon Man comes from Emancipation Proclamation. Bigots and racists should look it up. KKK was formed then. I come from South Carolina. My mother was Nigerian. I'm a half-breed. Pennsbury School Board blamed me for assaulting a school guard, and I saw West Campus, Linda Powski, hug and kiss this person that said that I assaulted her. So I'm going to take this all to court, and they called the police on me. So I'm
Say
trying
that
to get
again?
cameras. I'm trying to get cameras. So I just want you to know, because everybody is going to be involved in it, whoever did whatever. But that's just my issue. So just want everybody to know, where I come from. You can look up psd411.net. You can really find out what my true name is, what my slave name is, what I went to school for, and analytical chemistry, nursing assistant, all those things that a black man should go and get educated on. So as a result, I want to know what qualifications have to be had to be nominated on the township subcommittees. Aaron, maybe you can answer that? So I know you nominated, I think, Rachel Boyce. So maybe you can answer that for me. What qualifications do you have to have?
Anybody from the township is able to put in an interest letter, submit an interest letter to the township, and then it's up to the board's discretion.
Because I saw a lot of it that's going to happen tonight with a lot of people that's going to be on the committees. So I just was wondering how they were going to be on the committee.
We have to, if we're going to put someone on a board, we have to list that. That doesn't mean we're going to. It's on there every month, but we rarely, we do it usually in January, and if there's like a resignation or something like that, or something we miss, we might get to it February or during the year, but we have to put that on there every month.
So I have a chance.
Sure.
Sure.
Wow. Phew. As a government official, is anybody drug tested or for a cognitive test or FBI background check or performance on the job testing
For here?
for here or any board job? Like
No.
the school board here,
Not that I'm aware of.
so you all could be on drugs.
Sure.
And you may not really know what you're doing here.
Correct.
Like, Jones Engineering. Oh, you, I saw your name on the Garden of Reflection because I think you gave money, as well as the Fallsington Township Library for some
It's not
stuff down
Mr.
there.
Jones.
Yeah, I know. It's really unfortunate, but I wanted to, thank you for Mr. Jones because I saw a lot of his stuff that he donated and things that he's doing in the township. And I think a lot of people should go see the Garden of Reflection. I was sitting there for hours. Anybody ever heard blowing in the wind?
Yeah.
That's what I kept on hearing. I think I'm crazy now because I keep on repeating that song, "Blowing in the Wind," with, I can't recall the artist, but, and also if you could look, I think it would help improve the relations here. If you look up the film, oh gee, I can't think of it right now. With Gregory Peck. What's the name of it? Kill a Mockingbird. God bless you. God bless you. Kill a Mockingbird. They don't show it anymore. I think because they use racial epithets in it. But I think, we can all break through that because we're all adults here. Right? Everybody's an adult. We're not on drugs. We might be on drugs. So you should look at it. I really appreciate you giving me the time to talk.
Thank you.
God bless you.
All right. Jennifer Metzger.
Sorry. I went into my umbrella.
Hi, everybody. Jennifer Metzger, Falls Township. A couple of things are on the agenda for tonight, and I've mentioned in the past, we're concerned about having 50-foot buildings in the area. We know that we're going to talk about Tyburn Road corner, Sill corner, I guess, for, was it 50-plus homes? Is it 55?
You can
54 homes.
Comment on that when we get to that agenda item.
Yeah, but overall thought process is just, part of the reason that I'm concerned about all of it is because we really want Bucks County to stay looking like Bucks County and not end up being a big city and kind of feel like Trenton and Philly and like all of our big, metropolitan areas. Hardworking people down here, and there's a lot of people right now that are losing their homes. We confirmed with somebody just yesterday, it's at least a person a day is losing their homes in this area, in Falls Township, not being able to afford things. And with 84% of our taxes going to Pennsbury, there are concerns with that. We just appreciate you guys in Falls Township really monitoring our, taxes and really kind of keeping everything down. I know a lot of people weren't happy with the local resident tax for earned income, but it was really necessary so that those of us that are below retirement age or still working can maybe afford it a little bit better than our seniors getting nailed. Just wanting to mention to everybody that we really appreciate everybody coming out and voting yesterday. We need you to come out again in November. It's really important for everyone to be heard, and we just really want to thank you again for really trying to stand up and make sure that we're getting everything that we need answered. I was wondering if anyone's considered maybe setting up like a town hall type of meeting so that we can get a little bit more information, maybe on a consistent basis. So it would kind of answer a little bit to what other residents are asking, just like myself, just so that we're not kind of guessing. And it obviously could be Zoom or virtual. It wouldn't necessarily have to be in person, but I have questions like Upper Makefield is dealing with the leak. And
What?
they're dealing with their leak, the fuel line leak. And so the concern is, are we geographically going to end up having to deal with any of that fuel leak? They're trying to clean it up, they're trying to talk to everybody, all the great stuff, but how's that going to affect us? When the landfill starts to get to a point where it's full and we have to close, what are we going to do from a tax perspective long term? So just a lot of different things that, you know, maybe we could get answers to that we wouldn't have to bog down the meeting for stuff
Okay.
like that. Thank you.
All right. Next name on the list is that Joan Mullen?
It's Jerry, and we're gonna talk when the agenda.
Oh, you thought it was a sign-in sheet, okay.
Sorry.
But is that Mike as well?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That takes us to item number 3. Or no? Yeah, item number 3. Consideration of approval for certificate of appropriateness at 9 Old Locust Street, tax map parcel 13020269, and mill and stripe existing parking lot, repair base, and install asphalt. It was voted and approved by the Harbor Board. Any questions or comments from board members?
No questions.
No questions.
Any public comment needed? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. I apologize, I forgot my glasses tonight. Yes. Item number 3 now. No, that was it. Item number 4 is Sill Corner.
Good evening. I'm John Van Leuven. I'm an attorney with Eastburn and Grand Doylestown. I'm representing Joyce Sill Hopkins and her family, sitting there in the third row to my left. Ms. Hopkins started on this path back in 2019 with Tom Hecker before his untimely death. Then COVID hit, but back in 2019, Tom and Joy attended a staff meeting at which 2 supervisors were present to present a concept plan for this 4-point plus approximately 4.5 acre property comprised of 5 small tax parcels at the corner of Trenton Road and Tyburn Road. One of the parcels, long, slender piece of ground on the west side of Tyburn Road, is zoned LR. The other 4 are zoned neighborhood commercial. The concept plan that was presented then was for 120 multifamily homes. They took the feedback, never had a chance to go further until COVID struck. I then became counsel to Ms. Sill Hopkins, and back 2 years ago in March of 23, I sent some information to Mr. Takita via email indicating my representation, the fact that Ms. Sill Hopkins would like to pick up again with her discussions with the township about her plan to redevelop the corner. At that point, my recollection reviewing my notes is that Matt and I corresponded by email. Matt had indicated to me that he had spoken with the board at that time and that the board was open to considering an amendment in the form of an overlay zoning district. We then worked with my engineer here, Mark Havers, wrong side, Mark Havers, and some housing consultants to develop a further iteration of the plan that had been first shown in 2019, but never made it to a public meeting. And we showed a plan at that time with 94 units, plus or minus. That plan was submitted again without a formal application for a change of zoning to provide an opportunity to get some more feedback from the staff. In May of last year, Ms. Gallagher advised me that that plan had been discussed with the board, and that the board again was open to the submission of a petition for an amendment to the zoning ordinance. We then worked to develop an amendment and submitted the amendment and a revised plan, again informally. And then it was, I believe, November of last year when I had the opportunity to meet, we had the opportunity to meet with the township staff again, and two of your board, which we appreciated. We showed a plan at that time for a reduced density project of 94 units. The reaction was still too dense. And at that meeting, I think those of you who were there remember, we pulled out a plan showing a townhouse plan that we had developed as an alternative. And we're encouraged, we thought we were encouraged at least, to consider changing the concept to townhouses from apartments. In January of this year, then, I sent a letter to Matt Takita with a revised draft of an ordinance. We had been encouraged also to submit a sketch plan in order to provide an opportunity for a more formal review and an opportunity to come before this board, and with first the Planning Commission and then this board, with the to get public feedback. And that's what we did. We submitted a sketch plan application for 54 townhouses. This is a rendered copy of the plan that was submitted. Down from the original sketch that Ms. SILL Hopkins and Mr. Hecker had shown the board back 5 years ago, 6 years ago, of 120 down to 54. We had also submitted information because the apartment plan did not meet the township's parking requirements. We submitted a lot of information to suggest that the township parking requirement was excessive. That was not encouraged, that we follow through. So this plan, we meet the township's parking requirements with one garage parking space. We have a double-wide driveway for each unit, and there is one overflow parking space per unit. So we have the 3 parking spaces that are required for the townhouses. As I said, each unit has a one-car garage. There is also on the corner where Ms. SILL Hopkins has her office, and I guess she and her father had that office before he was there. I'm going to ask her to speak after I'm finished here. Just briefly, I'd like you to hear from her. This is not a sketch plan that we're going to follow up with a land development plan because we don't have the enabling legislation that would permit us to do it. We will have to submit a petition for amendment to the zoning ordinance. That is what we intend to do next. We're looking for feedback from the board. We have an extensive review letter from the township engineer, which was reviewed as if it was a plan submission. All of those items or issues that we know would have to be addressed in a land development plan, and we will address them. There's also some comments regarding the ordinance, which we will take into consideration. But we wanted to, first of all, see whether or not the concept that we're presenting is something that those of you who are present here tonight would at least be willing to consider in a more formal sense, submitting an amendment with all the other materials that would have to go with it. The justifications to allow the formal submission then to be made to Bucks County Planning Commission for its review, as well as your Planning Commission. But the staff has been really good about giving us an opportunity for feedback. We appreciate that. This was the opportunity that we were given to come forward to the board for public comment, and that's why we are here. I think, if you don't mind, I'd like to have Ms. SILL Hopkins say a few words. She did at the Planning Commission meeting. I think the background is important, and her perspective, I think, may be of some interest to all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joy SILL. These are my 3 children, Westy, Calvin, and Joy Eileen. We're 4th generation in this area. Actually, new baby my brother's family has, so 5th. We've been on this particular corner for over 60 years. My father and I pondered many different options for what we would like to do to develop the corner. And after he passed, we continued in pursuit of his thinking that we did not need any more commercial strip centers, any of those avenues that we had explored, which we are zoned for, and flipped toward the need for housing and our hopes of satisfying that. At first, when my children and I started to go down that road together, we realized in retrospect we were a little aggressive with our numbers and have gone to every extreme as we learn more appropriately. Matt, Lauren, and each person that we've spoken with on your formal side of it, as well as local feedback. And people do indicate that they would prefer to have town homes that they own versus the original apartment opportunities. So we are in full pursuit, and we're looking for your positive feedback. And we certainly did take the feedback from the Planning Commission to heart. We fully intend to do the things that they had recommended, adding a dog area and a sidewalk back along Tyburn Road, making sure that we have, the appropriate trees and plantings, and we intend to make it as beautiful as possible. We love Bucks County. We love Falls Township and Fallsington, and we're hoping we can all work together successfully. Does anyone have any specific questions for me, or?
Start with Mr. Palmer.
None at this time. I'm still digging through it.
Ms. Mullen.
Just a point of clarification, from the last time that we saw this, the most recent meeting that we had at our township office, am I correct that it's the same number of units but more parking spaces?
No, we lowered the number of units.
To 54 is the number now?
Yes, we did, because we could not accommodate the 3 parking spaces at that time, and now we have accommodated the request or requirement for the 3 parking spaces plus the 1-car garage.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I don't have any right now, but that doesn't mean I won't. Is there public comment, anyone?
Thank
Ms.
you.
Metzger?
So just the overall concern is right now, if we're losing people from their homes in this area, and people are being priced out of their homes and out of the neighborhood, but we keep adding more than 200 homes per year in this area, I'm just trying to understand who exactly are you trying to sell this to? I appreciate the idea that, they're going to end up paying more taxes, because it'll change the land from mostly vacant and a couple of office locations to all of these homes, although I do have concerns because people are parking under their home.
No, not anymore.
No?
No, that went away.
That's what we're doing? We're parking in front now?
That wasn't favorable to the...
And again, Ms. Sill, this is being recorded so people can watch it. You need to come to the microphone to speak
you.
so
Oh.
people can hear you.
Yes. The parking would be a 1-car garage in the home like anyone is already accustomed to, and the other parking spaces would be a double-wide driveway in front of the townhomes, as well as each townhome would have 1 guest space, 1 guest parking space. So they're all above ground.
Are you able to put this on the screen?
Oh, the 3D.
Which button is it? This one, okay. How do you push it to show each of them? Here, let's just push each one.
They show up here first.
Where is it?
They show up here
And then just push.
down, yeah.
Now, this is a 2-scale rendering of the plan that you've seen.
This one, so the residents can see the overall layout.
Go back, I think.
They can see
Mark,
the
do you know where
garage.
that one is?
Take one more up. Up. Other way.
Yeah, there you go.
That one, leave that
That
one.
one? Is
Yeah,
that the
leave
one?
that one.
That gives you an idea.
I think,
There we go. That's good. No.
sorry.
Come on
Am
now,
I
keep
there?
going.
No, that's good
no.
because it
No,
shows the,
well, I think this,
the other one's better.
yeah.
Sorry.
Where's that other one, Mark? You got too many there.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. So did you have any other questions?
They're still under the homes.
They're what?
They're still under the homes.
What is under the home?
No, it's
Where
a
you're
garage.
parking. It's
No,
a garage under the home.
No, like every garage is under its home. It's right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, concerned taxes, cost, Who are you marketing to? Because, seriously, a person a day. I was told 35 a month. And then how did we fix the space on Tyburn Road between the road and behind the actual homes? Because that right now is a pit. It's not like actually level like that. So how are you gonna fix that? And what are we doing about, sidewalk or protection? Because if you're talking about these not being 55 plus and there's kids, then where are they supposed to be?
Briefly, of course, a lot of those issues are land development issues, and I think we had that discussion at the Planning Commission. PennDOT has to weigh in on both of these entrances. We recognize that. Joy indicated that the Planning Commission had said they'd like sidewalks put back on the plan. Sidewalks, we understand, are a requirement. Generally speaking, unless you see fit to waive them, and we are expected to have and will have sidewalks on the land development plan if and when it's filed. Talking about to whom units are marketed, again, until we find out what the land development costs are, how many units we end up with, it's hard to put a number on there. It's not going to be the same number if this were 40 units as it is with 54, and it's not going to be the same with 54 as it would be if it were 60. The costs are divided by the number of units, and we end up with, that affects pricing, and I think we all understand that. That was one of the reasons the apartment complex was first, because there seemed to be a recognition that the idea of something a little more affordable and new but more affordable might be a good idea. But there's as all of us know who live in the county, anything you build new today has a buyer. So it's a question of what target area the township is interested in seeing here. We do the best we can to meet it within the constraints of complying with your subdivision and land development ordinance and whatever ordinance enabling legislation you might see fit to consider for this corner. But it's far too early because we don't even know if the zoning, if any zoning would be approved to change. As you know, right now, the LR district, the one piece goes along Tyburn, looks to me like it was probably cut off when the road was expanded. It allows single-family homes on, if I remember right, half-acre lots, and that's about it. It also allows chickens and things of that nature if you had 3 acres, but this isn't 3 acres. So that's a leftover. I think it deserves to be rezoned to something more like what's on this side of the road. But that's a different issue than the consideration that we have, which was an overlay, which was a concept that we were encouraged to pursue as an alternative. I mean, you could rewrite the ordinance and add different uses if you prefer to do it that way. We think this provides a better opportunity to come up with a better development plan than just pulling numbers out. And I've tried to write into our draft ordinance, and we'll certainly be writing into the final ordinance some safeguards, some requirements for project amenities that fit on this site. We're looking for whatever feedback we can get before we start the formal process so that we can come as close as possible to meeting what we consider, meeting some objections that we heard at the Planning Commission meeting. But as I said, not all those questions can be answered yet until we know that there is going to be an opportunity to pursue this type of development. And that's really why we're here, to see if there is something that you'd be willing to see us take to the next step.
All right, understood. Anything from professionals, Doug? You have nothing, right?
Yeah, I think the layout-wise, the biggest comment, hang-up that I see is that the access for the fire trucks to the leg that goes down Tyburn Road.
Right.
We have an extensive review letter that
Yeah.
comments that they'll have to jump hoops that they'll have to jump through with the land development process. But
Ms. Gallagher?
As Mr. Van Louvenet has said, we've met with the applicant and their attorney several times over the years. Staff has expressed concerns regarding density, parking, and stormwater. And so Mr. Van Louvenay has obviously indicated they've attempted to address that. Mr. Takita and Mr. Jones have continued to express concerns with that. I believe that the density continues to be higher than any density of any other zoning district in the township as proposed.
That's my main concern, is the density, is the, like Ms. Gallagher just said, the density would be higher than any other zoning district in Falls Township. I don't know where the parking is in our ordinance. I guess you meet our parking ordinance with this, you said?
We believe this plan does, yes.
The township has historically not counted garage spaces as parking requirements. I would
Right.
defer to the engineer as
It's
whether or
tough
not
if
these
you
are-
have, if you're living there and you have two people living there with two cars, and
That's why we
there's
have,
no overflow parking, that's another issue.
Well,
And
we have the
stormwater's going to
overflow.
be an issue as well. But the
we-
density is my biggest issue. And I
Okay.
said that when you guys came in, the last meeting we had at the township, I told you the same thing then.
yeah, that, we started with the multifamily project then.
I
and
remember, I've been here the whole time.
I know you have, and I appreciate that. Continuity is always a good
Right.
thing, even if it's critical. And just let me, one comment on the parking. Garage, we have two in the driveway. So if you don't count the garage, we have a double wide driveway, that's 2 spaces, right?
Understood.
Plus the 1 overflow space. So we have 3, not counting garage. If somebody wants to use their garage, we have 4. So I think parking-wise, we've met the concern, and frankly, I think we understood the concern. This is not a piece where you can go across the street and park in a parking lot.
Right,
or-
that's the problem. There's not a
It
parking
has
lot
to be
next door.
self-contained, so we believe we've addressed that on this plan. And density, we know that's always an issue, and we think it's a nice plan, we think it fits, but we hear you.
Okay.
I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, that this is not higher than anything you have in the township. It's higher than most everything that you have in the township. You do have one district, if I recall, that has a density of 20 units, but it's not on this corner, not at this location. I appreciate that. Other districts are in the 10 to 12, range, as I recall, but
Yeah, there's one, it's right by my house, that's very bad. It's one of my regrets on this board, was getting that, approving that, because it's ridiculous how tight it is there, and you can't drive through there barely, and people abuse the parking situation. And that's the one on West Trenton Avenue by the post office.
all right. What's the name? Do you mind sharing the name of that with us so we can?
I don't know the name. It's right next to the post office on West Trenton Avenue.
Joy knows where it is, so that's fine.
All right, we have a couple more public comments. Tony Batiste?
Okay, the eyesight gets gets worse when you get older, so seeing those, I can't tell, what is the setback from the street on Trenton Road?
I don't know.
Ms. Batiste, this is a sketch plan.
Yeah.
This is not a fully engineered plan.
Okay.
Setbacks and things along those lines would be a part of the land development process. What the applicant is trying to show you tonight is just essentially an idea.
Okay.
And if the township wants to move forward with this plan, the applicant will need to submit the fully engineered plans that will show the setbacks, the height, the impervious surface coverage. This is kind of just a concept at the moment.
Okay, only because from what I'm looking at, it doesn't look like there's a whole big setback. It doesn't look like there's any sidewalks on there. And it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of green on there, and I'm wondering about the permeability, because you have to have so much permeable land.
Again, this
I-
is
I'm-
just a
I'm just saying
sketch
what
plan.
I think.
Okay.
Thank you. And across the street from there, there's a church. And in that church, there is a preschool and a daycare, which means you have a lot of people traveling that road with kids in their car, trying to turn into that and having somebody else coming out at them. I just see a problem with that. Plus, if you're saying that there are 2 parking spaces for each person, or for each building, and maybe 3. I'm just saying that gives you a possibility of 3 to 4 adults in those. So how many kids does that leave? Right now, we're talking about, if you're saying 2 per family, that's 100 and some kids. Where are you putting the school bus to pick them up? That's a bad road to be stopping the school bus on, especially when you've got across the street other school buses coming in there and coming out. Just
Talking about Fallsington.
Pardon?
You're talking about coming in and out of Fallsington?
Well, they're coming in and out of Fallsington, but they're also going in and out of the church because they're dropping off kids and picking them up. And I know because I used to take my grandkids there, and there are school buses that come in and out of there. And it gets very hairy sometimes coming in and out of those entrances, just with a car, especially at drop-off times when you have a line of cars there, and you have a line of cars on Trenton Road. It's a bad intersection. And yeah, I think that was all.
Thank you. Ms. Metzger, you can finish?
So I was going to ask about traffic lights. She did. I was going to ask about setback only because it could wipe out the entire line of the condos. Stormwater can't leave the premises, so I was wondering if they had a chance to actually look at that back corner. Again, you know, they were talking about retention of water there. And then traffic lights, obviously. Tony covered that. And then my only other question was for utilities. Were they going to be underground or above ground? Because that's a big difference in our area throughout the neighborhoods. It's just how much space that takes up too.
Thank you. No other public comment. Any other board comment?
Is this going to be an HOA, or is it going to get dedicated to the township? HOA.
With the structure has to be an HOA or owners association. Probably in this case, an owners association. It won't be managed by someone off-site. In fact, the last I heard, Joy may still be on the corner there in her office, but she's not going anywhere. She's not an absentee developer.
All right, thank you.
Well, hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say something to the SILL family, because I know that this has been a long road for you, and this is gorgeous. I know you've invested a lot into this already, and I would love to see this somewhere, and I would love to say that this is wonderful and have a 5-generation family continue on here. It's just a really complicated corner, and it's a risk for us, just like it's a risk for you. We can't just do a zone overlay with kind of something that at this point is, I mean, I don't want it to be lost too, because after Ms. Metzger's comment, sir, you answered some of the things, but please make sure that, you know, if there's another round of this, that we do have an idea of where the kids are going. Because this whole area is going to be filled with cars. Yep. So I just wanted to say that too, because you have been wonderful and trying to meet everything that we have suggested to you, and it is appreciated. You're a great partner, and I wish it was not at this corner. It's a complicated corner.
Thank you. All right.
Well, could you at least indicate to us whether there is enough interest in seeing residential on this corner to encourage us to file a petition to rezone, taking into consideration, we realize that it's totally discretionary with you, and we know that. That's one of the reasons we spend so much time with your staff. I mean, if you have no interest in seeing residential, takes into consideration some of your comments, we'd like to know that before we spend more money, because the next step involves, we're going to have to submit traffic studies. We're going to have to show you what the demand is. We're going to have to show you what the anticipated population is, which requires studies, impact studies. That's just the way you do a zoning change, but it's a lot more money to spend, and if the concept makes no sense to you.
Well, at the risk of being repetitive, and my fellow board members can correct me if I'm wrong, it's just the density. I don't think anybody has an objection to residential, correct? It's the density.
All right, fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to hear. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Item number 5, Thomas Earl.
Get rid of that, yeah. Looks nice. All right, good evening. My name is Mike McGinnis. I'm an attorney with Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. I am here tonight on behalf of 14 Steel Road, Morrisville, LLC. My client is the record owner of what is presently 4 parcels located in the township. They are located at the top, and you can see on the plan that's been prepared by Mr. Havers, of the North Steel Road cul-de-sac. The properties are zoned heavy industrial, and in the aggregate, they consist of a little over 37 acres. Our proposal this evening is to consolidate these into 2 parcels. We would remove the existing use, which you can see is a large open-air exterior material operation, which Earl Co. operates. It's an asphalt operation that has a number of large piles regularly on site. And in its place, we're proposing the construction of 2 warehouse facilities. Each of these facilities would have its own parcel. The larger of the 2 would be approximately 272,000 square feet, and that one would be on a new parcel, which will be approximately 31.3 acres. The smaller of the 2 lots, which we're proposing to create, would be just over 6 acres. It'd be around 6.3 acres. And that would have a building which would be approximately 56,000 square feet in size. We are building spec, but it's consistent, obviously, with the surrounding area. These are permitted uses. They're designed to be Class A, state-of-the-art, modern facilities, and we discussed at the Planning Commission, in particular, I think the need that our area has for the building, the 56,000 square foot building, I think really there is a need for. Obviously, there's large buildings that are filled in our community regularly, but I see less out there space for the sorts of businesses in Falls Township that could occupy successfully a new 56,000 square foot structure. We went to the zoning hearing board twice to secure approvals. And at this point, really, the Jones Engineering review letter is essentially limited to the waiver request that we're seeking this evening. So I do have Sean Durkin from Roddy Inc. If there's any questions regarding the demand on this site for these properties. I have Mark Havers from Pickering Court, who's prepared the plans that can answer any questions. Everything that is not a waiver request is a will comply. And again, we think at the end of the day, if we're able to take this 37 acres and replace the existing use with these buildings, we think that's an improvement for this property and a very good use and a consistent use along Steel Road. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. And this, right now, folks that don't know, this is right down off of Tyburn Road in the industrial area there. It's a big industrial facility that's going to be turned into just warehouses, basically, right?
That's correct.
And I do agree with Mr. McGinnis. There probably is a demand for these smaller, I mean, they're not small, but warehouses compared to the 1 million square foot plus that we see going up everywhere. So I guess this is probably a good thing for the environment. I mean, with getting rid of that big industrial, I don't even know what they do down there. The asphalt, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, it's an asphalt operation. Piles
Okay.
are pretty large, and replacing them again with what we're planning to be state-of-the-art new buildings.
Any questions from board members? Mr. Palmer?
Yes. Does anybody have a problem with your requests for relief for trees to go into our, is it the Shade Tree Commission fund?
The township has a fee in lieu ordinance. Mr. McGinnis, is it the applicant's intent to comply with the fee in lieu on that?
Certainly.
Would you guys do that?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Mullen?
I just want to say, I would rather see the trees actually planted, but I understand we have that. for convenience. So.
Any public comment needed?
If we're going to change to warehouses, I was just curious, is Earl Company with the asphalt going to move somewhere else in Falls Township? Or are they just leaving?
I think there's
Is
just,
it, or are they staying there?
represent. I don't.
You know TJ's intention? I'm not sure if they're looking to relocate locally or not, but they
no, I
would,
think they're just selling this off and
Yeah.
building a warehouse, selling the
right.
warehouses.
They would go away here.
Yeah. All right. Professionals, any comments or questions? None?
Again, on all the action items we're going to have this evening, since there are only 3 of you present, all votes must be unanimous to pass. We are required to have a majority of the whole, not a majority of the quorum, so a 2-to-1 vote fails.
Thank you. Again. This would be Resolution 2025-17. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 6 is going to be tabled. Item number 6 would have been the Levittown Lanes project.
Oh, that's why the Mullins were here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, well, we felt like we were sneaking this in on a Wednesday night, because most of us forgot we were having a meeting on Wednesday, and it's an odd day of the week for us to meet, and we didn't feel it was right to have do this on tonight, so that's why we tabled it and moved it. I apologize, I didn't realize that's why you were here, I would have told you in the beginning. Sorry about that.
Oh, it will be coming up again, right?
Yes, it'll be on an agenda probably next month, I would guess. Sorry again.
Can't be treating my family this way.
Are they your family?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
All right, is there a motion to table item number 6?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And, Ms. Gallagher, we don't have any timing issues, right, Mr.?
If there is, we consent to an extension under the MPC through next month, and we'll follow up with a letter from our office.
Thank you.
We do have a waiver on file.
Okay.
You're up again, Mr. McGinnis? This is item 17, Metals USA plates and shares. Is that shares or shapes?
Shapes.
I apologize. Preliminary and final land development. This is 58 Cabot Boulevard East.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin here tonight on behalf of Metals USA. As Mr. Dents just indicated, the subject property is located at 58 Cabot Boulevard East. It backs on the rail line and essentially fronts on Route 1. This property is located in the PIP district, and it's approximately 18.7 acres. Just by way of very brief background, Metals USA currently utilizes this property for inventorying and processing a range of stainless steel, carbon steel, and aluminum materials. Again, like the last application, we did go to the zoning hearing board previously and received some relief to facilitate this development. The scope of the relief actually exceeded what we needed. We pared the plan down a little bit subsequent to appearing at the zoning hearing board. And the genesis of the application is Metals USA has been fortunate enough to be a very successful business located here in Falls Township. It's outgrown its existing structure over the last 5 to 7 years, and we are hoping to be able to construct a new 70,000 square foot building on site, which will be used for steel storage, and will also have a covered storage area of approximately 31,500 square feet. We're estimating we'll be able to add, in addition to the functional component of this for storage, another 8 to 10 jobs to this property. I do have Pat Frasca with me from Metals USA. I have Eric Clays from Gilmore & Associates, who's prepared the site plan. The review letter is very brief. Happy to address anything if there are any questions. But again, it's our intent to continue to grow in Falls Township, and we think that this project will facilitate that occurring. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Palmer?
No, pretty straightforward.
No.
Mullen? I have none. Any public comment needed? There's no hands. Yeah, this is good that you're expanding in Falls Township. That makes us happy. So this will be Resolution 2025-19. Is there a motion? 18?
19.
19.
We tabled.
Oh. This says 19.
We pulled one.
We tabled the number 6, so.
Okay. 18.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Item number, am I on the wrong page here?
No, number 8.
8. Consideration of approval for the health benefits program renewal. Mr. Takita?
The board is being asked to consider renewing our health insurance for the period of June 1st, 2025 to May 31st, 2026. The estimated annual cost of increase is $153,168.48. This is a 4.99% increase from last year.
All right, any questions for board members? Mr. Palmer?
No question.
No questions.
Is there public comment needed? No hands, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item number 9, consideration of approval for the collective bargaining agreement for the Public Works Department. We did a Public Works tentative agreement at the last meeting, and this is the permanent agreement.
That's correct. We were able to work with the union representatives to get everything reduced to the formal contract, and so this is just the formal contract approval. This is the same terms as last month.
All right, any questions from board members? Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
Mr. Mullin?
No questions.
Any public comment? There's no hands, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 10, we have vehicles for the police department. Is there any questions from board members?
No questions.
No.
None, pretty straightforward. Any public comment needed? Been approved and budgeted. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Takita, can you poll the board?
Mr. Dents?
Yes?
Ms. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Thank you.
That was easy. Item 11, I have no appointments tonight. Does anyone else?
No appointments.
No.
None? All right. Item 12 is the minutes from April 28th. Any corrections or anything like that, Mr. Palmer?
No question. No,
I have none as well. Excellent. Minutes as always, Mrs. Pullen.
Always.
Is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Engineers report. If it's brief.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our engineer's report for the month of April indicates 2 new land development applications and 4 earth disturbance applications. Our comments, our updated comments are in red as usual, and I'll answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions on the engineers report?
No.
No questions.
None. That takes us to the bill list. Thank you. We have, I can't even see this. Total of $4,077,072.25. Any questions or comments from board members?
No.
No.
Any public comment? I see no hands. Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
Mr. Denson, again, we've dealt with this the last couple of months. Normally on this bill list, I'm sorry, it's the Jones Engineering bill list. Excuse me. I apologize.
Anything else?
No,
Mr. Takita, can you poll the board?
I'm trying to stay on top of things, and I got ahead of myself. Sorry.
You're good. Mr. Dents?
Yes.
Ms. Mullen?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
We have a Obermeyer, Reedman, Maxwell, and Hippel bill list. Any questions or comments? $2,104.50.
No.
None. Any public comment? Is there a motion to pay that bill?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, but he has to poll us.
Mr. Dents?
Yes.
Ms. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
All right. We have the Campbell Durant. One more minute, Mr. Clark. In the amount of $31,958.92. Any questions or comments on this one?
No.
Public comment needed. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Mr. Takita, can you poll the board?
Mr. Dents?
Yes.
Ms. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
All right. This takes us to the Jones Engineering Associates bill list, and Mr. Clark's going to address us real quick.
Yes, thank you. As I was saying before, we've had to address this several times over the last couple of months because we've not had all 5 board members present. As you have been doing consistently over the last year or so, you have been abstaining on the Jones Engineering bill list because of a conflict, but the law states that when a member would have a conflict and would not be able to vote, and by doing so would prevent the board from taking action, the board member is able to vote, again, as long as they reveal that conflict, which you have consistently done over the last several months, so you can cast a vote.
Any questions on the Jones Engineering Associates bill list?
No.
No question.
Any public comment? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Tequita?
Mr. Dents?
Yes.
Ms. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
That takes us to manager comment.
Only one item. The township offices will be closed on Monday, May 26, 2025, in observance of Memorial Day.
Okay. This is the board comment. Mr. Palmer?
No comment.
Ms. Mullen?
No comment.
I'm just going to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. I can't believe it's already Memorial Day. The year's almost half over. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.